And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. That stands for Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Class, and joined by
Jabron.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
Yes, and we are just smashing through all this football fun here. And I want to get back to the NFL.
Let's do it.
Talk about a team that a lot of folks in our listening area follow closely.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little bit of a downer year last year.
Yeah.
See if they're on the bounce back with a new coach. A lot of hype, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Payton's already hitting the bong out there in the Mile High area.
It seems like it.
So we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders heading on over to Denver to take on the Broncos, where the Broncos are the 3.5-point favorite. That line is just inching up. Open up at 3.
Yeah. This may sound crazy, but Denver hasn't beat the Raiders since the 2019 season, Andy.
I know. Yeah.
Losing 6 straight games in a divisional rivalry is pretty wild. I just believe, had Sean Payton not been named the head coach, would the Broncos be favored by this much or even at all in this game, especially after the year that Russell Wilson had? They were the worst offense in the league last year, the fewest points in the NFL, and the team still doesn't have one of its key weapons in Tim Patrick back in 2023.
Oh, come on, let's ride. Let's ride.
There's also a good chance that Jerry Jeudy misses this game as well, Andy.
I know.
I really like the Raiders. Give me that hook at plus 3.5.
Yeah.
I believe if the Broncos do win, it's going to be a late drive by Russ, and they get the field goal to win by 3. You're still getting that hook with the Raiders. So I really like the Raiders. I might even look at that Raiders money line because I just do not believe in the Denver Broncos just yet.
I think a lot of this has to do with Sean Payton, the hype, and his offseason, media tour. His daughter is a sports gambling guru now, I think.
For sure.
She's over on FanDuel TV or something like that. Along with those 6 wins, right? The last 6 times they played, the Raiders have come out on top.
Yeah, 6-0.
They're also 4-0 the last 4 games against the spread are the Raiders over the Broncos. I mean, every way you slice and dice this, other than it's in Denver, you got to be looking at the Raiders here.
Yeah, I do think you got to be looking at the Raiders. And not only that, Andy, Jimmy Garoppolo's ability to manage games is a far better upgrade for the Raiders than Derek Carr, who threw a ton of picks last year for the Raiders. I know that he was trying to get wins and all that kind of stuff, but he was still beating the Broncos, throwing all those picks. Jimmy G gets a lead. We've seen this a million times with the 49ers.
Yep.
They get a lead. They do not give it up because this guy does not turn the ball over. And I think that's what's going to need to happen for the Denver Broncos to win this game is a late game turnover or something crazy happen. Jimmy G does not let that happen. Give me the Raiders. Give me those points.
That's a fantastic point you just made there, and the more you look at that 3.5, you really do like the hook there for the Raiders. What about this 44.5? It's moved on up to here, the total. I mean, if you just mentioned that with how stagnant Denver's offense have been, Jeudy might be out, or he's at least going to be dinged up. You also got Jimmy G, a prototypical game manager, and I'm saying that in a negative way, but that means he's also going to just give it off to Jacobs, which is probably their best offense anyway. Yeah,
for sure, Andy. I'm going to stay away from this over-under. If I had to lean, I would bet the under, but I do not like betting NFL unders. It just doesn't really work out for you a lot, but I'm scared of this over, just like you said, of that stagnant Denver offense, and if Oakland gets any amount of lead, they are not going to turn the ball over, and they're not going to score fast. So I would lean the under, but give me those points for the Raiders.
All righty, should we move on to the Sunday night game?
Let's do it.
A lot of fanfare here. This is another divisional game. A couple old rivals squaring off here. The Dallas Cowboys are heading on up to New York, East Rutherford, New Jersey, to take on the Giants. And the boys are a 3.5-point favorite. That line has also moved up because I believe it opened up at 2.5.
Yeah, and I'm seeing even a 3.5 by now, Andy. A whole bunch of Dallas Cowboys fans throwing money on them.
Yeah.
Am I taking crazy pills? Is this line wrong as well? Am I looking at a playoff team versus a not playoff team?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm looking at.
I mean, the Giants are 13-4 against the spread.
Yeah.
Last year, and they have gotten the better of Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Last couple times they met.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is a home team getting points in week 1 in prime time. This line, when it's between 3 and 3.5, like I said, look at it. This is a good spot for people right here, especially if you can get at 3.5, because even if the Cowboys do make some, late game thing and only beat them by a field goal, you still got the hook with the half a point. So I love the Giants. I have a really good best game prop for this one as well. Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown is -110 right now.
Okay.
This guy will get in the end zone. Yeah. He's there. He's their one and done. He's their everything. He will break one for 40, and also he's going to be their guy at the 5-yard line too. So Saquon to score, -110, but give me those points for the Giants.
I mean, when he's at his best, he's also their best receiver. And to your point about this line being a little cattywampus here, divisional home underdogs are 7-0 against the spread in week 1 the past 5 years. Well, the past 5 years are 7-0.
Well, Andy, I just don't see what's going on here. They are the home team. If this line was flipped, it should be where it's at. Mm-hmm. It should be a -3 line for the Giants. And also, another thing that I'm going to talk about, Dallas Cowboys. I don't think going from Kellen Moore to Mike McCarthy is going to turn out to be a good move for calling plays. Yeah. I just don't see it. I just really don't see it. I'm a Cowboy hater. I've always been said to be that, but give me a home opener during primetime. Give me the home team getting points. Love it.
Yeah, you got to like that, catching that. 3.5 now 3.5. Is what I'm looking at consensus.
The hook is there.
Open up at 2.5. Yeah, you even got the hook as the cushion there, that half point. That over-under, it has actually gone up a full point here from what I'm seeing across most books here. It's opened up 45.5. Yeah. Now it's at 46. That might be a spot where you're looking at the over.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I do like this over. I'm not going to say that the Dallas Cowboys don't have pieces to score points, because they obviously do. Mm-hmm. They got Dak, they got CD, they got Tony Pollard, they got really good position players like that, and a really good defense, Andy. So, so that is one thing that I think is factoring into this, but I really think Mike McCarthy calling the plays, not going to be a good thing for him. I think he's going to hand that off in week 3 if he doesn't get fired by then.
Oh, jeez.
I really like the Giants in this one, so I might even look at that plus money there at the money line.
Boy, you're bleak. You're bleak on the move there. I did like Kellen Moore, and I thought, he's scoring a lot of points.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of a guy that's scoring a lot of points.
That's what it is.
When you don't mesh, you don't mesh. All right, well, you're going to love this, and another divisional game with a divisional home underdog. That is Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills are going on the road. They are playing the New York Football Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets. Now, this actually opened up as the Bills a 1-point favorite. Coin toss, right?
Yeah.
Now it's moved all the way to 2.5 points. Now it's kind of creeping up there. All that offseason talk. The Jets always generate that, don't they?
Little more this year.
Yeah, a little more this year. Yeah, they got a quarterback or something like that. So here we go. Monday night, Bills 2.5-point favorite against the Jets.
I would really like this to be 3.5, Andy.
Yeah.
So I could take the Jets with more confidence, but. Mm-hmm. The New York Jets were able to split their 2 games with the Buffalo Bills last season and almost won both outright. So the Jets' defense is legitimate, and that's what the whole thing was with the Jets. We need our guy to be able to pick up the slack on the other end of the ball because the defense is there. Everybody saw that. With another year of experience with that defense, I think they're only going to get better. These young players like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, they're
the Dalvin Cook, right? The running back.
Dalvin Cook. The Bills have an okay defensive line that should test the weakest part of the Jets team, which is the offensive line. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited to watch that matchup. The Bills' defensive line versus this kind of new offensive line that's kind of ragtag, trying to protect Aaron Rodgers. However, I think the offensive line concerns are a bit overblown. Going on Hard Knocks and all that kind of stuff. So the Jets should be able to do well. Aaron Rodgers in Game 1 as a Jet, I believe, should dominate this defense. So I really like this as kind of a shootout. Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets plus money, plus spread. Give me them both.
Yeah, and I'm going to go along with you on that. Divisional home dog.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Week 1. I usually, you hate the hate the New York teams, but right here, this is a different animal now with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
You also have, I think, what might be the best bet is this under.
Yeah.
The Bills have gone 7-1, hitting the unders their last 8 games. This is with Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. This is with Stephon Diggs and all these fancy weapons.
Well, it just gets inflated so much. It really does. Mm-hmm. It's because of players like that, like you said, Andy. But I believe we're talking about this on Thursday right now, Andy. By the time Monday hits, I bet the Bills are a 4-point favorite.
Probably will be. So you could wait. You could wait on that, and you might want to sneak in because right now I'm looking at Jets money line of a plus 122.
Yeah.
If that point spread gets moved up a little bit, that money
plus
line's
150, plus 175.
This could be a real. And then I also think the point spread's probably going to continue to creep up here. It's been holding pretty steady at 46.5. I think everyone agrees that the Jets defense is legit.
Yeah.
And the Bills is pretty solid.
Solid as well.
They've been pretty solid over there.
No, I agree.
But this might be a good place for a little trifecta here, 3-1, where you're taking the money line, the point spread, and the under. I like the under.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna argue with you on that, Andy. But I really do believe the Jets are kind of a new thing here, and I hate to say it because I like this Bills team so much. This Bills teams look to be regressing a bit as they want to see Allen stay in the pocket a little more.
Yeah,
and
it's not his strength.
That's not how he plays football. Mm-hmm. You've seen it so many times with these mobile quarterbacks. Once you try to do that to them, it's the end of their career. Not the end of their career, but the end of their prime years for sure.
Being that dynamic and
for
everything
sure.
else, and now you're making them do something they're uncomfortable with.
Exactly. The Bills are the best when Josh Allen has 300 yards passing, 75 yards on the ground with a couple touchdowns.
Yep. One rushing and 2 passing.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, you heard the horn. That means we're up against it. We're taking the Jets over the Bills in just about each and every way. Might want to wait a little closer to kickoff because we're probably going to get a pretty good line, especially with it being Monday night.
Night football.
People are going to be loading up. Can't wait to
get
the last bets in of the opening weekend in the NFL there.
Yeah.
You heard the horn, so we're up against it. So let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Nebraska Brewing Company. We've been enjoying one of their new beers, the Pickle Fight. A little bit of an ale with that pickle flavor, briny flavor, and I like pickles, so I love it.
It's so good.
It's not a joke. It's a real beer. It's the Pickle Fight. Head on over to their location, get one. You're also seeing in a lot of grocery stores and convenience stores across Nebraska.
For sure, Andy. And it's the best beer you could ever have to make a Bloody Mary with. It is the best beer for that.
I'd have to agree with you on that. I've had a couple of them. I'm guilty.
I love it.
I'm guilty. Nebraska Brewing Company, world class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.